Hey y'all, it's Deanna from Far From Homesteading. How have you been? I know it has been so long since I actually made a video, and I want to go ahead and just right up front, I want to apologize to you guys. And I want to be honest and let you guys know that I was 100% avoiding you. And I actually just realized this yesterday when I was scrolling through the stressor net and I rolled upon this story from the Harvard Business School from 2021. The title of the story is "Don't Bring Me Down, Probing Why People Tune Out Bad News." And it hit me like a ton of bricks. The reason that I have been avoiding the camera and avoiding talking to you guys is because ultimately that would mean that I couldn't avoid the bad news anymore. And I just kind of panicked about that. Honestly, I made a couple videos in January of this year, and they were different than the videos that I normally make. They were about prepping and being prepared and inflation and things that you could do to get ready for what's coming, because I honestly feel like there is something coming, guys. I don't know what it is. I hope it doesn't happen, but I just feel it like rumbling underneath the surface. I can feel it inside like an intuition, and I feel like God is leading me to be prepared. So in real life, I'm not avoiding the situation. I am preparing for what's happening. I am trying to strengthen myself mentally and physically. Mostly mentally, because this last year I have realized that I have a lot of work to do to become a more resilient person. The last few videos I made, they did really well, right? And it freaked me out. It freaked me out. It panicked me because I thought, oh my goodness, I thought it was bad, but now other people are confirming that they are also struggling and that they believe that it's going to be bad as well. And it just scared me. I couldn't avoid it anymore, and I didn't want to talk about it. So I put my camera away. And I'm sorry. I've always been an avoider though, all my life. When I was younger, and a younger adult, I avoided things like the news. It's been hard because my husband, Brandon, is not an avoider, and he watches the news, and he always has. We've been together over 20 years, and he's always been someone who follows the news and follows current events. And you know, he would come to me several times and say, Deanna, we need to do this, or we need to prepare for this, because over in this other country, this terrible thing's happening and it's totally going to affect us in this terrible way. And then I would just tell him, babe, don't worry about it. You're stressing out. Every little thing's going to be okay. You just don't think about it. You watch too much news, and it gives you all those negative emotions, you know. And so like I would even avoid conversations with my husband. And honestly, guys, sometimes I still do it. When it comes to a hard conversation, I just don't want to have it. It's hard. How many of you feel the same way? Like when it comes down to having a real serious, vulnerable conversation, that you would rather do the dishes and avoid it. I would, but I'm working on it. I realize that it's a problem. And I avoided everything in life that was negative that I could, up until the point where I couldn't avoid anything anymore. And it was horrifying to me. Brett Kavanaugh happened, and the world just shook with insanity. Do you remember? This side was saying the craziest thing, and this side was saying the craziest thing, and everybody in the middle was saying the craziest things. And the news, oh my goodness, the media was just making up all these crazy stories, and all this stuff was happening, and people had a lot of really strong opinions about if it was this way, or what was the truth, or what should happen. And it was when I really woke up. Like, I knew, yes, there are bad people, and there are bad things, and there are bad things going on, but I avoided those things, right? But I knew that underneath the water, there are sharks swimming. They're underneath the water though, and I can't see them. So that kind of brings me a comfort. Like, I know they're there, but I don't see them. They're not like a problem that I'm visualizing right now, so I can just avoid that. And so when Brett Kavanaugh happened, I couldn't avoid it anymore. I had a friend forever. She was my best friend for over 4 years. She was one of the first people I ever met whenever I moved to Washington from Oklahoma. And I was just alone and I didn't know anybody. And I met her and we just hit it off instantly. We were like best friends for a long time, over 4 years, and we saw each other every day. We had family dinners together weekly. Our kids just like hung out all the time. We were around each other all the time. And when Kavanaugh happened, things just changed. My friend finally realized that we did not politically align, something that I had known since the day that I had met her, but I didn't care about. I don't know how she could not have known, because I didn't talk about it because I avoided things, but we would talk about things that were pretty controversial topics, and I would give my opinion. And because like I said, if you ask me for my opinion, I will give it to you. But I don't like to just like give my opinion because it's probably going to hurt your feelings, or it's going to hurt somebody's feelings. I'm 100% certain. That's my anxiety probably that just makes me feel that way, but it happens a lot. So I've just learned to just avoid things. And so she figured it out and kind of lost her biscuits for a minute and started coming at me with like the craziest things. Like, the first thing she asked when she found out that I didn't politically align with her is if I was a racist. And I was totally floored by it. I was crushed by this question. Like, are you serious right now? And I think she sincerely meant it. I think that maybe she was just so shocked that she didn't realize that I wasn't the same as her politically. I think it just really shocked her. I wish I could talk to her now that the world is like it is today and explain cause I never really got the chance because I was an avoider and then I couldn't avoid it. And the next question she asked after I was a racist, and I was like, girl, for 4 years we've been best friends. Am I a racist? Like, you know me. You're like my family. So, anyways, the second question she asked me is it true that all Republicans lie? And, I giggle because if it was true that all Republicans lied, which it isn't if you do believe that, but if it were true, then why wouldn't I lie to her about it? Like, I didn't find it as funny at the time. It was very upsetting to me for a long time, and it still is years later. As jarring as my awakening was, it was still better than so many others is going to be, because there are so many people here and across the world, but mostly here because people across the globe are waking up. But there are so many people here that don't see what's happening, and they're not preparing, and they're going to vote for this again in November. They're going to complain about what's happening. They're going to go out and they're going to vote for it so they can get their little I voted sticker. And it is completely depressing to me. So I put the camera down for a while because I was avoiding. And the past couple months I've really wanted to start making videos again, but like I said, life has just been dumping on me like a porta potty at a Fish concert, and it's going to get better. It is, but right now it's not. And I might not be completely done avoiding some things, but I am 100% trying to face my fears head on, start making these videos again, and stop avoiding telling you the bad news or giving you the helpful information for just in case something happens. I hope nothing happens. I pray every day that we will find peace, and that the stuff that I have prepared will go to feed the homeless or go to a food bank. I hope I never need the things that I've prepared. And although I can't avoid those things in my life, I was avoiding telling you guys about it because when you say it out loud, it just all becomes real. And there's no escaping this. This is going to affect everybody. If things don't change quickly, it's going to affect everybody. Just like that hurricane in Florida. It didn't discriminate to certain neighborhoods as much as people would like you to believe that. So, I'm going to try to be here. I'm going to try to show up. I got to see if I can remember even how to edit a video, but I'm not going to avoid you guys anymore. And today, when I woke up, I came across this quote, and it just even confirmed it more that I needed to share this with you guys and let you know what was going on. So, here it is. You can avoid reality, but you cannot avoid the consequences of avoiding reality. Oh my gosh, right? No matter how much that I want to avoid these hard conversations, that I want to avoid telling you that things are probably going to get bad and that you should prepare, if I avoid that, I can't avoid the consequences of what would happen to you or what would happen to me if I chose to avoid the truth and just pretend that everything was going to be okay. And I hope that you guys are not pretending. I hope that you guys are preparing for whatever happens. Just that added safety net for your family. That's what I hope for. I promise I will not leave you guys hanging again. I love you guys and I am so sorry that I ghosted you. See you next time, guys.